Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be going over the This Week at Bungie blog post, which comes out every single Thursday, and it's Bungie's way of telling us what's going on in Destiny, what's going to happen in Destiny, and pretty much everything related around Destiny. Now this week specifically, Bungie goes over a bit of a recap on the stream that they did a few days ago regarding the Prophecy Dungeon, and I'll make sure to have some Prophecy gameplay in the background to be a little bit relevant. They also go over the Iron Banner, which is going to be coming up next, a hotfix which is coming out this week coming up, which is going to be fixing tons of bugs within the game, as well as teasing that we're going to be seeing some details very soon concerning the summer event for Destiny, Solstice of Heroes, more so towards the end of the blog post. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it and talk about This Week at Bungie for the 30th of June. They start off by saying this: "This week at Bungie, we shared our prophecy, challenge, mystery, the 9 deserts, cubes, and whiteboards? Earlier this week, we did a deep dive on our newest dungeon featuring some behind-the-scenes developer commentary. If you missed it, well, let's fix that. Hit the jump for a recap. I'll make sure to have the link in the description." They then go on from this and talk about Iron Banner, which Iron Banner is going to be returning from 10 a.m. August the 4th to 10 a.m. August 11th. And if you guys are a bit newer to the game, Iron Banner is a fantastic way to pretty much introduce yourself to getting a ton of loot from Crucible. If you're a newer player, I definitely don't suggest that you jump into Crucible right away. However, I definitely suggest giving Iron Banner a try. You definitely do need to know that power level pretty much does matter in Iron Banner, so if you have a lower power level, you will be weaker compared to other people in the game. However, there is a quest that you can do for Iron Banner every time it comes around, as well as some bounties that give really good loot, as well as tons of drops in between Crucible matches that gives you a ton of loot as well. You should definitely be running Iron Banner for some of the weapons and some of the armor if you are looking to flesh out your arsenal, and if you are a veteran player, make sure you're doing your bounties so that you can get those pinnacle drops and reach max level before the season is over. They then move on from this and talk about a hotfix preview where they talk about how the Ordeal version of Lake of Shadows wasn't accessible to people who did not own Forsaken, so that's going to be fixed. They talk about the Festering Core Master Nightfall, which has been broken for quite a while, being listed as 1080 power level but actually being 750. They are actually fixing this and putting it back into the Nightfall rotation for players to play. They go over a fix to a Leviathan raid farm from the dog encounter that you were able to get tons of exotic engrams and bright engrams and just tons of stuff. They basically ended up fixing that and making it to where you can only farm raid weapons and raid armor. So I guess if you want exotics, definitely hit up those Nightfalls. They go over an issue with the Means to an End quest, as well as some issues with armor regarding the Ruinous Effigy, as well as the Umbral focused engrams. So aside from this, they also end up talking about when this is going to be going live, which is of course August the 4th. They of course end off the TWAB by talking about, while Moments of Triumph is in full swing, we still have some summer fun on the way. Solstice of Heroes begins in under 2 weeks. Hard to believe that it'll be August in less than 2 days. They of course then give a picture of the season roadmap and say that next week we have Iron Banner to play on Tuesday and some Solstice details to dive through in Thursday's TWAB. So for those of you guys that want more details about the summer event, which is going to be happening on the 11th, we will get that in the next blog post 1 week from now, and I hope to find some spicy details somewhere in there. Aside from that, that's pretty much it for This Week at Bungie. It's a pretty tame one. Even DMG, which is the community manager, even said on Reddit that, some of the TWABs leading up until November are going to be super meaty, and some of them are just going to be kind of like, and this is one of those TWABs. He does go on to say, though, that they are going to be discussing some transmogrification details, the Destiny Content Vault, sandbox updates, and a lot of the other general changes to Destiny 2 very soon, but for right now, we're just going to have a little bit of an blog post as we wait for a lot of the more meaty details. And to be honest, I don't really mind too much. We got tons of news regarding Beyond Light just last week, and I kind of expected this week's news to be a little bit on the slimmer side. Now, aside from that, and something that's outside of the TWAB, DMG actually was talking on Twitter to a few different people and did confirm that Bungie is actually working on some fairly good anti-cheat, I would guess, for Destiny 2 on PC. For those of you guys that do play PC Destiny 2, you may know that there can be cheaters from time to time, and they can go undetected, and apparently DMG right here just confirmed that they are indeed working on some awesome anti-cheat and a pretty good way to combat cheaters. He says the team is definitely working on improvements to Destiny 2, which should combat cheating. The goal would be to talk about it as soon as we can. So at least we do know that that's going to be happening. It wasn't in the TWAB, but I did figure I'd mention it as it is a little bit of tiny news. And for me, who's been wanting to play Trials of Osiris a lot, I don't exactly want to play Trials of Osiris because of the cheater problem on PC. So hopefully this kind of stuff gets addressed very soon, perhaps in a future This Week at Bungie post. But guys, that's pretty much it for me. I know that this video was kind of short, but I wanted to just kind of steamroll through the news and pretty much get everything out of the way, talk about all the new news and talk about what's going to be upcoming. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have a new exotic guide out in probably the next 2 days, which should be concerning the Outbreak. A lot of you guys really liked my Whisper guide, which requires no DLC whatsoever to get, or, you know, season pass or anything, and the Outbreak's the same way. So I will have an exotic guide out for you guys really soon on that weapon so that you guys can pretty much get yourselves a spicy pulse rifle if you haven't already. But guys, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.